throughout our lives that are going to fall into the category of what I'm going to just say are self-sabotaging beliefs. In many cases, they're religious-based beliefs. Because essentially as traders, what are we doing? We're basically taking money from other people with no services rendered. This is basically what we're doing as traders. And there are a lot of religious beliefs that would let's say that would really rail against the idea.
What is up, every single buddy? How's everyone doing, guys? We have a special Sunday Night Live here for you within Powerhouse. Guys, welcome to another SNL where we look into the markets and see the opportunities for what's to come. But this special day, I wanted to bring someone on with me, right? This is someone that actually has less time in the game than me, but I've learned more than I can ever imagine from him, right? This is someone that came in Powerhouse and shifted the tragic of trading with different types of strategies, right? He's the one that brought levels into Powerhouse. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, guys. He's the one that really brought simplicity into Powerhouse. So, that being said, I want to bring up our very special guest today. Vinny, what's good, brother? How you doing? Yo, is it me? Y'all see this guy? Bro's looking like he's lost 30 pounds. Bro's looking mad good. Let me unmute you, bro. My bad. There we go. There you go.
My boy. Appreciate you, Gio. Look at Gio, though, guys. Look at this guy. Looking good. I know he just left the gym, too. Boy got a pump on, looking swole. Go ahead and flex on him one time, Gio. For the one time. Let's go, baby. Love it. Nah, Gio's been locked in, bro. I love to see it. I really do. But what's up, guys? Let's go ahead and get into it today. Man, I have an outlook that I have on the indices um that I want to share with you guys. A request. Let me see. Can I share?
You'll be good.
We're good? Okay, cool. All right. Let's go ahead and go to US 30. So we talked about this on Friday on the levels call. Let me go ahead and flip the chats real quick. If you guys have any questions, you guys could unmute. Feel free to unmute. I don't trip on it. Right, but US 30 we got here. Right now, going to a higher time frame, we can see that US 30 has been bullish for a while, right? For a minute. Now, for me, I'm still looking for continuations. Like it may take a minute, like it can be cooking for a while, but I'm still looking for continuations, right? Because one, the market's bullish. Two, we have liquidity up top. We have equal highs. So sooner or later, I don't know when, but sooner or later, the market will make its way back up and take these highs out and continue to make new higher highs, right? So I found a starting point in the market, right? We have a break of structure to the upside. And this last selling candle here would be my starting point. So if I wanted to go ahead and draw this zone out, what's up, Serge? What's good? This would be my starting point for extra buys. Now you can see, look, if I zoom in, let's go ahead and just remove that real quick. If I zoom in, check it out, guys. This is a big ass starting point, right? But notice the market came close once, twice, three times, but never touched this box. Right now, again, this is the weekly zone, right? Weekly order block. Yes, Kevin, right? Weekly zone. So this is a huge zone. But on a lower time frame, there's going to be a smaller starting point, usually, right? And not only that, there's also going to be structure that we can go ahead and use for double confirmation, right? So let's go ahead and dive into this candle here. Like, I really want to break down starting points, right? So let's go ahead. We'll drop down the daily time frame. Now, look at the structure here, guys, right? This whole pull down from this all the way down is technically your weekly starting point, right? But if we take a look, this is the closest change of character BOS right here, right? So our daily starting point would be even smaller. Now, I like this as a starting point for an order block, right? Supply and demand. And I also like this as my left shoulder because we have support, we slip through and take liquidity, and then we go ahead and change direction and continue in that uptrend, right? But not only that, we do have something down here as well. We have a low, especially if we drop down the 4 hour. Let's drop down. There's just a lot of confluence in this area that I like. So I just really have to be patient and just wait for the market to come to me. So we also have a clean structure here. If we zoom in, let's just delete this for now, just to make everything look nice. Notice how we have a liquidity sweep to the downside. Now, as soon as we sweep liquidity, we change direction. So I also like this zone down here. So if the market can make its way and come down here, that would be a crazy risk to award, but that would also be pretty lit because everything kind of lines up. Yeah, I got you guys. So I like this area down here. Now, the market has already made its way and actually touched the first shoulder zone and the daily starting point. I'm just going to go ahead and delete the green box just to keep everything clean. But as we come over here on this side, the market actually gave us that structure shift that we were looking for. Now, we can easily see that the market was downtrending to my buy zone, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we change direction. This should actually be right here. And then we change direction, right? So as soon as we get this confirmation here, which is the change of direction, as soon as market lets us know that the market wants to start heading back up now, that's a sign that we got that structure shift, right? We could start looking for buys now. Now, as soon as we get this change of direction, we get equal lows. Now, obviously, the market is pumping right now, and we can see that the market wants to go up. So if it continues to go up, we can continue to look for buys. But at the same time, because there is equal lows here, I would not mind if the market, made its way up. Okay, cool, do your thing. But if it could come back down here so we can go ahead and continue, that would be insane. I like buys down here personally. I'm not sure what like Gio's thoughts on that are. I'm not sure if we have any other vets on the call that can give some feedback on that as well. I would love, to get some feedback and your input on this structure here. But I like this because as soon as we get that structure shift, we consolidate. Right? Left shoulder, head, change of directions, consolidation. Right? And we get these equal lows, which honestly just makes it pretty sweet. Right now, when you combine these, right, because I trade all the indices together. Now they sometimes don't look the same, and that's okay. But how can you use both of those or all three of their structures for your bias to help give yourself a strong bias? Let's go to NAS. Now, NAS looks different. It doesn't look like it wants to go up yet, even though it is heading up. Right? If I'm looking at this like a head and shoulder or a smart money type market structure, this doesn't really have anything clean, in my opinion. I'm not sure what you think about this, Gio, but I mean, for me, this kind of just looks pretty ugly. Like it doesn't look like a clean, smart money type move, in my opinion. But there is liquidity being built up. Right now, as soon as we touch this buy zone, we get equal lows. Oops, we get equal lows. We do make our way back up a little bit more, and then we make equal lows again. So I would not mind saying that the market can make its way, sweep this liquidity, and then take that pump up. Does that make sense, guys? Now, if we look over here on the right, the left-hand side, we still have nice structure that goes hand in hand. This is the type of structure that I like. When we get really nice structure shifts, break the structure to the downside, change of direction, this lets us know the market's ready. When we see equal lows, just like chilling, equal low, we're pumping up higher, equal low, pumping up higher, that doesn't really tell me we're ready. Usually I would like to see a nice spike to the downside and then we continue up higher. That's nice structure for me because I can see the liquidity being built up. I can see trend line, or I can see a can't even think of the word right now. But there are traders who are taking these double bottoms, right? Now, for me, I want to trade with the banks. And what the banks like to do, they like to take these guys out. They like to take out people who like to trade off of support, right? They like to take people who like to trend line trade, right? They like to take them out. So when we see a spike, we know that the market has just taken liquidity. Everybody who got in early just got hit stop loss, and now we are ready to start looking for some more buys and shift the market up higher. Now, I like the structure that we get here. Same thing with US 30, right? The daily time frame, we have lower low, lower high. Now on the daily time frame, all these are selling candles. So I'm gonna count this as a clean breakout. And then we get this change of direction. So I do have this as my left shoulder on the daily. Now on the 4 hour, there is going to be structure here. So let's drop down and we have another possible buy zone. And the structure even gets better, you know, in my opinion. We have lower low, lower high, equal lows, equal highs, a lot of consolidation. We sweep the liquidity and then we take off, right? So I do like this area for possible buys. With something that gives me more than one zone, more than one possible rejection zone, I'm really waiting for confirmation. You know, so it's okay if you guys wait for the confirmation, guys. Like, you guys don't have to be the first one in. You know what I'm saying? We got the change of direction. We got a starting point right here. I really like that we overlay starting point with left shoulder. Now, when we come back this way, market has already touched the first daily shoulder, right? So this zone has been used and has created liquidity off of it. So for me, I will like for the market to sweep that liquidity and possibly come down for the starting point and left shoulder that's way down here. That's something that I'm looking for the future. When is this going to happen? I don't know, right? Because if the market just continues to take off, then it may never happen anytime soon. But if this area can hold and we can stay, you know, below these ranges, then we may see that happening. And once we see this liquidity sweep right here happen, we have to be careful and watch for the structure. So as soon as we start watching consolidation, the sweep, we get this change of direction, guys, we're looking to go yard. Hail Mary. You know what I'm saying? Calculate correctly. Good money management, all that good stuff. Because if the market's going to continue in that bullish movement the way the indices usually do, this should make new highs. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Does that make sense, guys? I'm really trying to break down structure in a simple way for you guys. That, I mean, in my opinion, a lot of people think of it as super advanced, but honestly, all it is simple structure. You know what I'm saying? But it works. Simple structure. Now, same thing, right? This is what NAS looks like. Let's go back to US 30. These buy zones look really, really good. Now, US 30 and SPX look fairly similar. Fairly similar. So I would be looking for the same thing as US 30. Waiting for these breakouts here to happen for more confirmation. And let me see. Let me just adjust here. All right. But the same thing, right? We do create equal lows. Equal lows all throughout here. There is liquidity right above my buy zone. Same rules apply. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Consolidation. Crazy, ugly, crazy, spooky, all that good stuff. You know what I'm talking about? We sweep it, change direction. Guys, look what happens. Consolidation. Building liquidity. Would not mind it at all. If the market can sweep that, give me an entry so we can go ahead and take off and continue with that bullish trend. Because just like the other two indices, very, very bullish. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, equal highs ish. Kind of swept it already, but for me that looks still like, equal high type vibes. If we go on the higher time frame, this is just going to be wicks. Higher low, higher high. We'll like to see if we can get something like that for sure, because all the other good buy zones are either down a lot lower or a lot lower. So, we'll like to see if these things can hold up, because it's looking pretty good, my guys. Pretty good. When you see structure like this on indices on the 4-hour/daily time frame, in my opinion, I'm just like, bro, I'm ready. I'm ready. So yeah, that's what I have for the indices right now. Any questions, guys? I see Austin sent in a chart. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. NZD CHF, you're looking for buys. On the 6-hour? Funky, my boy. Let's see, NZD CHF. Down here. Yeah. You're looking at it right here, which I can see that because that's the starting point in this area, right? We do have the break of structure to the upside. Strong rally. We do have a starting point that's right here. Looks like that was barely missed. Crazy. But again, it's building liquidity, right? That's a buy zone right here. Buy zone 1. Option 1, right? We never touch it. Low, equal low. We can easily tap this area, get this structure shift, and take off, right? So keep that in mind. But I do have a zone a bit lower, possibly even this whole zone here. But yeah, I do like the lower zone as well. And the market structure just looks a lot cleaner right there, We have, my goodness, shoulder, head, change of direction. We never actually touch the right shoulder, so this zone is still fair play, and we continue to take off, And then if we look at it in a bigger aspect, we have the liquidity sweep here, and then we have the change of direction right here. So that's what I'm looking at. But let's go ahead and jump on a higher time frame just to confirm real quick. All right. So higher time frame, we're bearish, right? So those buys could be kind of iffy. Let's drop down to lower time frame. We're on the weekly now. It looks like it just tapped into a starting point on the weekly. So this sell right here could just be continuing that bearish trend. And this is all-time lows. So who knows? It doesn't look like it's ready to continue up right now, to be honest, now that I'm looking at it in a bigger picture. So let's drop down to the daily. Honestly, it doesn't, now that I'm looking at it at a different perspective. Got you. Now that I'm looking at a different perspective, it kind of looks like it can continue selling down. So if that's the case, I'm just going to focus on the structure right now. This would be my BOS, and this would be my change of character line. But this is the daily time frame, right? So I want to go ahead and drop down to a lower time frame real quick. And I'm going to use this. Actually, no, I'm just going to continue with the structure. But I do like sell structure right now because it's looking clean. We do have the BOS at the downside. I mean, even right here, right? We had the BOS. Oops, don't know why that was chosen. But it also changed direction. Starting point was taken and respected, right? That was starting point, sell opportunity number 1. We have a BOS here. Starting point was respected. Sell opportunity number 2. Now, if we drop down to the 1-hour time frame, it looks like we have a possible third sell opportunity right here, along with the head and shoulder. So I do kind of like that. We're in the middle of 2 possible zones right now. You know what I'm saying? And for me, because we were on higher time frame. Not sure why that was going away. Let me see real quick. Because we're continuing the trend, right? Because we're continuing the trend. I want to favor the sells a bit more. You know, I'm just gonna shrink that up a little bit right here. I want to favor the sells a little bit more. So, and also what looks kind of funky is because we never change when we change character, right? Once we get this left shoulder, head, change of character, we want to hang out and build a lot of liquidity. So we have an incentive to go higher, right? That would be our target. So we don't ever really get that. It's usually on this example, it's a sharp change of direction, and then we start dropping down with pretty nice structure, it looks like. So right now, I would favor the sells. And once it gets into your buy zone, possible buy zone, I would wait for the confirmation. Wait for the market to break down, like literally wait and watch it. Wait for the break of structure, wait for the change of direction, and take an opportunity that looks quality instead of rushing, right? We literally just broke it down, top-down analysis. Everything on a higher time frame looks like it's selling down, and market structure on a pair that doesn't move a lot is trying to confuse you, making you look for buys, right? So, not saying the buys can't happen, but I would just wait for the structure to give you everything you need to see, Austin. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. I really just wanted to give you my outlook on indices because it does look like they're cooking, and we can possibly get some opportunities, hopefully before Miami, right? That way, you know, those trades alone can help pay for these types of things, right? So take advantage of it. You know, it ends up helping out. Not only that, I mean, if they end up taking forever and they don't go to those buy zones, we can possibly have an opportunity for Miami. Well, we're in Miami. We never know. We just have to wait and see, right? Last traders lock in, everything would just set up beautifully. I mean, we ate on that trip. Like we ate, right? So with that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all for having me. And I'm gonna go ahead and send it back to Gio. Appreciate you, Gio. My boy stuck in the matrix right now. Fool stuck.
I'm over here tripping. I was like, yo, unmute me. But yeah, what Vinny just said, you know, give it back to Vinny. This is someone that I've been able to create a amazing bond. Nah, I just didn't know how to unmute, guys. I didn't reclaim host. But you know, this is someone I've been able to create a incredible bond with. This is someone that I respect highly. And guys, I'm a student to this man. You know, I've been in here longer, been trading longer, and you know, I've been able to have so many, you know, breaking points, right? Due to this man and Oren Wright. So, bro, thank you again. Make sure you hop on every single Monday with Vinny, right? 10 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Pacific, right? But let me read your messages. You are posting market overview on Wednesday. Yes, I dropped the YouTube video. It's on my YouTube, and I know Vinny has his own YouTube as well, Vinny. So if you want to drop your YouTube, go ahead. But right here, what we have, I agree with Vinny a lot, right? As we're breaking down, Nas is the ugliest one out of them all, right? I'm not looking to trade Nas unless we were able to push up. And, you know, really the main reason, as Vinny was going over right now, was mainly, y'all can see my screen, right? You know, type of one if you can see my screen. Cool. Perfect. Right. So what we marked this up on Wednesday, right? We had a couple great markups on Wednesday, right? This was one of them, right? We had our consolidation, we had our change of character, bullishness becoming, we had our retracement, beautiful, right? We had a small consolidation. I didn't want to enter that sell because you're trading against the trend. Wouldn't have been a good risk reward either way. But as of right now, as we can see, is market is continuing to push up, right? the main thing you want to learn with structure is why you're trading structure. And the reason why you're trading structure is to follow the trend because that's what your probabilities are going to become a higher percentage, right? So consistency in trading, right, is just having the right probabilities. And like Vinny just said, is taking those high quality setups instead of taking every setup you might see, right? That's the difference with everything, right? So Nas, it's not my go-to for this week. I would want to see Nas go lower, just to be real with y'all. I wouldn't be surprised if it, just swept these guys out right here and then continue pushing up. US 30 in a different case, right? We had a huge US 30 snipe on pretty much Wednesday, right? This ended up happening on Friday at 9 a.m. during New York. But simple, right? Why did I enter this trade? What was my ideal conclusion, right? Same thing as Vinny. Obviously, we have our consolidation, break of structure, right? This was our last lower high. Then we broke above, had that change of character. And then as of right here, I saw our first consolidation break of structure. We liquidated out buyers, right? We had our change of direction as well. Big institutional candles up, creating liquidity below, right? Giving us that area right here to enter. It did come a little lower to that order block, but it did not take us out, right? An absolute snipe, 1 of 3, beautiful setup. Now, what do I believe is going to happen? Right? As you can see, the market's still continuing going higher, right? Depending on how high the market goes, is depending if I'm gonna look for buys now or I'm gonna look buys lower. 100%, I'm with Vinny on this lower zone. This makes a lot of sense to me, even up here. But if this market just decides to hold up here, I wouldn't be against taking a trade around this area, right? So when it comes to US 30, we do have continuous opportunities, right? But you know, we do have this zone right here. We did liquidate these guys right here. This is where we broke above, right? So me personally, I'm gonna wait for this OB right down here. Nothing major, but if we do continue going up, market continues to show power, right? This is what I see. You have a small consolidation there, break a structure, change of direction, right? What I would want to see is market hold much more, right? In order for us to continue going higher, right? So we see this correctly at that OB right here, right? You're looking at a big risk still, but we're going to break it down and go in depth how much we're going to enter these, right? So as you go down to 30 minutes, you have a small imbalance, 15 minutes, right? Now my zone gets a little cutter, 5 minutes, right? Consolidation, break a structure, change your direction. You check out the 3 minutes for the one time. And I personally would like to see this area, right? The 500 to 470 is where I would be expecting this to continue to push up, right? Cool. Right. So we have both positions right here. And then I have this position up above for sells when it comes to US 30. As you see, consolidation, break of structure, change of direction, continuation down. Now, as we go on to gold, I have a couple ideas when it comes to gold. Obviously, this one's out of the way. Consolidation, break of structure. We had our change of direction right here. Beautiful retracement, 786. Right, we throw the fib right there. You'll be able to see it came right in the 618. Right, it does have a chance to come back, but I'm not really hoping too much on it. right? I would rather see, for me, either we see a good rejection off of here at 30.30, stop loss at 30.38, or right, we continue push a little higher, get back in the zone, and then continue going lower, or seeing a rejection. Right, biggest thing when we're counter trading is trusting your setup, and number two, right, you have to risk less than your initial setups. When I counter trade, number one, my biggest rule, 101, stop loss or break even, I'm taking 50% out, right? Number two, right, is I am making sure, right, that my how much I'm risking is half of what I initially risk most of the time, right? But for me, what makes sense more is for it to come a little higher. I will take a small position here, just because it makes sense as well. Silver, right? Silver, I do have the same thing, a little higher. We have liquidity here, right? But does it have to go all that way high? Initially, it doesn't, right? Here we have a higher high, boom, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Initially, we have a couple areas right here where silver can reject, right? But for me, what makes more sense is this zone where this liquidity happened. So I'm gonna be patient when it comes to silver. US oil, on the other hand, it is active since Wednesday. We're holding this trade. I am confident that we will continue seeing a down movement within oil. It's literally at entry right now, and anyone is able to get in it, right? It is a 60 pip risk, right? But you want to be very aware of how much you're risking. Like I said, guys, you want to use risk properly. Bitcoin, right? As you can see in Bitcoin, I feel like we're creating liquidity right now, right? We're gonna play around this zone a little bit more. We're gonna create another one, and then we're gonna sweep them out, continue going lower. We do have a bunch of liquidity within this area, right? And overall trend is bearish, right? Overall trend is bearish. I don't see us coming back up here, right? We had a huge institutional candle go up, go down, fill it up, push back lower, create new lows. Now we're going for that lower high to continue that lower low, right? That's my ideal scenario when it comes to Bitcoin, GBP, AUD, right? We are seeing bullish reactions, right? I would want to see on GA is this right here, right? Why though? Right? We have our consolidation, break of structure, change of direction. But again, right, we have our change of direction right here. But again, right here, we have our consolidation, break of structure, institutional candle, change of direction. This is really close. It just didn't fill it up for me. So it's not that pushed up. We've been holding, creating liquidity right now within the zone right here. So we're at a good area where we can come back down, continue going higher. If we do come lower, so be it, right? I wouldn't be against it, right? But overall, I like this trend to continue going higher, especially since we broke above previous higher highs, right? GBP CAD, right? Beautiful setup from last week. You have your consolidation here. You have your last higher high here, your break of structure, sweep liquidity. Then we consolidated for a long minute. This is where we were at on Wednesday, right? How did that change of direction? We were here Wednesday. I'm like, guys, I see this liquidity. We broke below. It's a matter of time for this market just to continue going lower, right? Pushed up right through Thursday and fell through London session, right? This was a great trade. So this trade was given out as well on market overview. So this was an easy 1 to 2.4, nothing too crazy. And then I'm gonna finish up real quick because we're limited on time, right? So this is another trade that I'm seeing on GBP CAD. I want to see us go higher. This zone at 15400, 186,400 is the zone that I would be looking at. Break the structure right above, right? We do have a lot of news tomorrow when it comes to USD, GBP, CAD, and Euro, right? USD CAD, I still have the same setup. I wanted to see it go higher, then for us to continue falling, right? USD NZD, great, right? Great, right here, right? We're at a point where we can continue going lower. Market is pushing higher, right? But this was the last initiative where we had that movement down. So I would see right here and that movement shifting, right? And then let me make sure that I give you the rest of these setups before I end this call real quickly. Euro USD is about to break below. Once we break below this area at 168 in the 4-hour time frame, I will now start considering sells, right? Euro GBP, I want to see push higher to continue going lower. And last but not least, right, Euro NZD,